So we're here with the filmmakers from Looking for a Legend, the documentary. And how did you guys come up with this, that you wanted to do this certain topic?
It actually started for me. It was a school project, and we're from New Jersey, obviously,
Yeah.
and we've always loved the Jersey Devils, so it
Mhm.
all just kind of clicked together.
Oh, yeah. So
yeah, she kind of went over like a little bit of the mythology of it, and I was kind of just interested in exploring it more.
So it was originally for like a school project?
Yeah.
Yeah, back a couple years ago.
Oh, cool. Are you expanding on it at all? Or are you going into doing more documentaries, or?
We were actually just talking about possibilities of new documentaries that we could work on.
Yeah, we were sort of looking more like New Jersey focused, or like just something in the tri-state area, probably.
Have you ever read or are familiar with Weird New Jersey at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were actually in our documentary.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh. It's been a while. It's I probably remember that. Yeah. Because I saw it such a long time ago. Because we were supposed to do this in April, and now it's so long ago.
Yeah.
I watched these probably. I was like talking to someone the other night. I'm like, watched them back in like December, January. So and we have 182 films playing, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
But we're big fans of New Jersey stuff and New Jersey folklore, so that's why I always love documentaries on the Jersey Devil or movies on it and things like that. So yeah, so would you take other like stories from Weird New Jersey and make a documentary out of it as well, or?
I mean, I'm up for anything Weird New Jersey to make a documentary on. I mean, we go to the different Weird NJ sites pretty often, so
Okay.
could be a possibility.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
actually
I think you'd definitely be interested in that.
Could do like a series. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep the Looking for a Legend series going.
Yeah.
Was there when you were doing research on the New Jersey Devil, was there a lot some things that you had no idea and that you found out while you're doing the research?
Yeah, definitely.
I think definitely one is like how many relatives there still are in New Jersey of the Leeds family and of the Jersey Devil.
Oh.
That was new to us. I just,
Yeah,
I think
for
it's
me
just
it was
like a
like
myth.
how far back it goes, going all the way back to like colonial era. Something I really had no idea about until we just started gathering research for this.
Oh. And then,
even some stories go back all the way to like Native American tribes too.
Yeah, and they've changed. There's a lot of different variations. Is that right?
Yeah, there definitely is. There's one like main story, but like everyone, different storytellers kind of have their own different sightings. Change, the stories.
And where was it again? I forget where. Like, was it the Pinelands area? Is that?
Yeah, it was in the Pine Barrens. At Leeds Point. I mean, we've been there. We actually filmed part of it. Like in that area that he was supposedly born. We filmed a lot of the documentary there.
I was actually watching something on the paranormal the other night, and they kind of did a little thing on the Jersey Devil. It was pretty cool. I like that kind of stuff a lot. I actually took a story from Weird New Jersey a long time ago that I remembered when I was a lot younger, and I made a horror movie about it. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then they just recently there's a film out that I know some people that did called the Clinton Road. So it's,
Oh yeah,
we talk about that one a lot. We haven't been on Clinton Road yet.
That would be a good documentary. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah. I think we're about a little worried coming across something too real on Clinton Road.
Yeah. That is always the worry. We were filming in this film in the middle of the night up in the highest point in New Jersey, and there was nothing there. And then we started hearing babies cry.
Oh boy!
So we were all freaking out. It had to be about 3 a.m, and there was babies crying. And then there were people the locals there that were with us. They said, "Oh, those are just goats." And we're like, "Are you sure? Sure."
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, we didn't really get too much anything unusual. We did set up a few night cams in the Pine Barrens, but nothing. Just some raccoons.
Were you guys there? Are you ever interested or ever do like a ghost hunt before?
I mean, I probably would.
I don't know if I'd be up for it, but it's something we've gone over, I think, a few times.
We
I
did
always,
just go on like a ghost tour of New Jersey. We didn't
oh
really
yeah,
see
yeah,
anything, but
yeah.
you know, you never
But
know.
like, but one of those where you go overnight, locked up, and you have the that's I like that stuff, and I never went on one, but I do have a couple friends that are ghost hunters, and I'm like, I'm coming with you one day, and
Yeah, we've
plus
had like personal experiences, but nothing we've ever like documented or done before.
I was thinking, I'm like, I'll never be afraid, and then it happens. You see something, you start screaming.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what we would have done if we actually did catch the Jersey Devil on camera.
Yeah, that changed, I think, the documentary just a little bit.
So, because of all this that happened, were you able to see this play in festivals like on the big screen at all before all
We
this?
did have one about a year ago actually in Asbury Park. It was
Okay.
the actual Jersey Devil Festival.
Yeah, I
And
was there. I was there. Yeah.
yeah, we won Best Documentary the first year they had it.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there recently. I like upstairs doing it upstairs of the play. It was pretty freaky.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
It was a cool
Yeah.
store.
I like that. And so you got that. And did it play on any festivals like online that were supposed to be, and then it had to go online yet, or not yet, or?
No, not yet. There
Not
was
yet.
just the one.
I was forgetting. Oh, do you have anything else that have you been writing anything or coming up with anything during the pandemic?
Yeah.
So actually on YouTube, we do like a little sort of like short comedy skit series about like a Midwestern mom moving to New Jersey and sort of having that culture shock of, wow, this is definitely not like the Midwest.
No.
So we've been sort of working on like how to do that again. Obviously, it's tough to like get people to act in a room right now. So we've just sort of been gathering ideas and figuring out what we want to do with it.
So have you done other more things like that? You do comedies, dramas, and documentaries, basically everything?
We'll do
We're
anything.
trying to cover all the bases.
And
Yeah.
if you do you have any websites or you want to promote anything where people can see?
Yes, you could definitely check out on YouTube. You can go to Faux Shig Productions. That's us. We do have a link to the website there. It's a little long, but you go on the YouTube page, it'd help us out the most.
Yeah, great. Absolutely. You have anything else you want to talk about the film?
No, we're just really excited that we got picked. It's been a while since we've been in a festival, so we're very excited and honored to be a part of this.
Yeah, great. Yeah, we love New Jersey stuff, and especially the Jersey Devil. And actually, a friend of mine that's an actor starred in a comedy version called The Jersey Devil. He's in another short film that's playing Jack Mulcahy. But if you look that film up, it's called The Jersey Devil. But they did a comedy. So it's like I went down to see it, and I thought it was gonna be this really crazy horror film, and it was like really funny.
Oh, that's cool. We'll have to check it out.
Check it out,
So
yeah.
it's out there somewhere. I don't know. And they filmed in like Jersey City, so it's just off the wall different.
Yeah, a lot different than the Pine Barrens.
Different than that story. But I'd like to see a New Jersey Devil story. I thought they'd be some good ones out there, but I don't know. Or they like a feature film. I know another friend was writing one and he never did it. So
yeah, it's one of the lesser known cryptids, I guess you'd say, compared to like Bigfoot.
Probably.
So less focused on.
But it's our own like New Jersey thing. So
yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Are you guys local?
Yeah, we're both in New Jersey.
Yeah, like around this area, like Asbury.
I'm from Woodbridge.
Oh, where were you?
I'm down by Manchester right now.
Okay. Oh wow. Yeah, I was just there the other day in Manchester.
Oh, cool.
Well, thanks for joining me for a few minutes here, and I'm going to be working on all these interviews and getting them up hopefully in the next day or so.
Awesome.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Great. All right.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. So we're here. We're talking about your documentary, 1,000 Songs. How did you find the person that you made the documentary about? How did you know that person?
Well, I'm a filmmaker and a musician, and there was this sort of legendary jam that I had heard about happening at a garage in Bed-Stuy, and a musician friend of mine took me there one day, and I walked in, and I saw something that just took my breath away, and I heard music that I absolutely love and connected to, And I played music when I was really young, and I put it down for a while, became a filmmaker. I've been working in film and TV for a long time, had recently picked up playing guitar again. And returning to this place, I just found this love of music again, and I found these folks, and I got to know them. Yeah. And I showed up to a couple of the jams, a couple times a little bit late, and then I showed up the third or fourth time, and they looked at me and they went, "You're late." So I kept coming, and I got to know them real well, and I got to know Ricky Rose, who is an absolute just sweetheart of a man and a beautiful musician, and has a depth of knowledge that he's shared with me over the years, and that's kind of how we got to know each other.
Oh wow! And this is New York.
This is in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Oh wow! How long have these guys been doing this stuff for a long time?
Well, most of them are like, there's a real mix of people. There's a mix of like journeyman musicians who've been doing this for 50, 60 years, some newcomers. The one of the interesting things about the film is it takes place in Bed-Stuy, which is let's call it a rapidly gentrifying neighborhood in Brooklyn. So you got a lot of old timers around, and you got some newer folks have moved into the neighborhood. But the main guys that it's about, Ricky Rose and Titus Rich, have a musical friendship that goes back 50 years. And they have been playing together for 50 years, and they are still playing together to this day. And the music, the documentary is much about friendship. It's as much about friendship as it is about music. Yeah, absolutely. Especially, you don't really hear like a lot of bands breaking up, get back together, breaking up. You don't hear them together for 50 years that often, Yeah, they have a really great relationship and an absolutely sweet friendship, and but that's definitely a part of the documentary.
Yeah. Do they play like now that we can't play concerts, but do they like play at places or they just jam? But what do they prefer to do?
Well, that's sort of the wonderful thing about this mechanics garage in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, which is that it affords a lot of these guys who don't really have a place to play anymore. One of the things that the movie really tracks is the role of live music in contemporary life, which has shifted dramatically. It used to be that live music was the only way that you could have musical entertainment at your party. And as technology shifted and as DJ culture became much more prominent, the role of live music in our social gatherings has really, really shifted. Yeah. And one of the film's concerns is tracking that shift and then tracking the effect that has on musicians whose this was their livelihood, is to play music at the barbecue or the party or at the club or at the gig or at the festival or wherever it was, every Thursday, Wednesday through Saturday night. That's what these guys were doing. Yeah. And that is no longer an option now, not because of COVID, although also because of COVID, but because the culture has changed. And so the garage really provides a place for a lot of these folks to gather and swap tunes and play and celebrate and carouse and have musical friendships, which are very dear.
Yeah, and I miss that. Well, I'd like to go to that. We're right here in Asbury Park, and Red Bank, New Jersey is right around here, and we go out and a lot of bands playing constantly all the time in the same places. Got the Stone Pony right over here, so. You have that where like there's a band playing and a guy's there in another band and he'll jump up and start playing with that person. Bruce Springsteen does that quite often around here. So I miss that. Well, I miss that because of what's going on, but also miss seeing that all the time because, like you said, you go to one place and there's just a DJ playing music. Where's the band? You want that live band, that feel to it. So
nothing quite pierces the soul like live music. The best DJ in the world, and I love DJs. I like listening to house music. I like going out dancing, I like doing all that stuff too. They have different functions, and nothing quite moves through the body like live music, and especially when it's great, both for the people who are listening to it and the people who are making it.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you said you went from music to being a film director and kind of back and forth, have you made other documentaries about music or? What other kinds of films do you work on as a filmmaker?
Sure. Well, for I guess the last maybe 10 years or so, I started a production company called Marin Media Lab, and I have been making short-form documentaries about the performing arts community here in New York, mostly the contemporary performing arts community, which loosely is a sort of loose umbrella term for, contemporary performance art of any kind, whether that be music or dance or theater, mostly in the dance and theater world. Yeah. And then I also, I was a professional editor for many years, and then recently transitioned about, I guess 7 or 8 years ago into becoming a full-time director and producer. And I have a day job as a director and producer for a production company.
Oh, wow. Have you done any music for other in films and things like that? Have you been doing scores or?
No, I am very much concerned with live music. Yeah. Live music is the thing that matters to me. I spend enough time on a computer during my day. The last thing I want to do is sit my face down in front of a Pro Tools or a Ableton Live session and make more music. I see the value of that. I am interested in studio recording. Those are some of my concerns. But my primary concern is live music, the live moment, human connection, human interaction, and that to me is what's special about it.
Has I know in New Jersey, I guess they're just starting to open up things a little bit here. I know there's not too much going on in New York. Is there any plans for any kinds of bands or some kind of, like, they're doing the drive-in band things now, I guess? Is there anything around your area that they're trying to pull off?
New Yorkers are creative folks. There's been a lot of, sidewalk concerts and stoop concerts. We have recently done our first social distance jam, where we had everyone at different corners of that garage, and we opened up the roll top of the garage and put a piece of caution tape in front of the roll top so that no one could come in, and we did a set, and it was great. So we've done that a couple times, and it really felt it was just what we needed. It was just what we needed, and it was just what the community needed. People were walking by and cheering, and it was really wonderful. But in terms of like going back to any sort of regular, normal gigging situation, I think that's going to be a minute still. The fun thing about this group of musicians is we were playing at the garage, but it grew and evolved, and we ended up playing at restaurants in the neighborhood and doing other types of gigs. And that was also really awesome to be able to bring this music to more people.
Absolutely. What about rooftop? Any rooftop playing?
Rooftops are harder to get electricity to some of these rooftops. Yeah. Also, the main age of a lot of the folks that are profiled in the film is they're older folks.
Older folks, yeah.
They're older folks, so we want to be careful. And the thing about the film that to me is striking is, while it does track the role of live music in our lives, and it does talk about how live music is not just music, it's about life. Ricky Rose, the main character of the film, is the reason it's made.
Yeah.
And his dedication to music throughout his entire life is something absolutely phenomenal. And I wanted him to have to take a star turn in front of an audience and get have that experience of watching the film and other people having it. And, we're not going to have that experience this go around, and we all have to roll with the punches. But I just can't say enough about Ricky Rose, what his love of music means and what it's meant to so many people, what it's meant to me and inspiring me to become a better musician, and inspiring me at, I'm a middle-aged guy, and inspired me to keep learning, because he's still learning at his age, and he's never stopped learning. And that is one of the things that strikes me about him as super beautiful. And one of the things I learned from him is to keep learning, to keep dedicating myself to the craft, and to know that I'll continue to get better as long as I put in the time.
Yeah. Have anybody maybe performed on like right on here, like how we're doing this right now? If this is only recording right now, but if we were alive, a couple of my friends who are musicians just go on, play guitar, and been kind of doing things like that. Has any of them done that? Because I know like you said, they're older, where it's a lot of technology involved. So
you're asking me, are we doing like the quarantunes?
Yeah, the quarantunes.
No, we're not doing the quarantunes. We're not doing the live streaming. That just doesn't feel like what that moment is about. But let's see how long this keeps up, and once the winter sets in, the calculus might be a little bit different. Really, this is about a dedication to live music in front of live people, in front of a live experience, paying homage to that experience, as well as paying homage to to a musical form that was born in the 50s and 60s in this country. And Ricky Rose is an original soul singer, singing music, not just soul. He loves all types of music, but he grew up with that music and he played that music, and he's still playing that music as well as everything else. He'll play Walk the Line by Johnny Cash too. He plays everything. He says in the film, if you love music, you're about music, period.
Yeah. I wanted to see, where can we see some of your work, or do you have websites that people can follow?
Sure, absolutely. www.marinmedialab.com is the website, and the Instagram is actually probably, this is what all the kids are doing, is the Insta. So the Insta at Marin Media Lab would be the spot to go. You want me to type that out to you, or you can figure that out? I'll put it in the chat here.
Yeah. You can put it in there if you want. You can put it in the little.
Marin.
Do you have that there? Yeah.
Marin Media Lab is the website, and at Marin Media Lab is the Insta. On the website, you can see a lot of the previous videos I've done, as a little bit about my history and work as an artist. And on Insta, you'll get updates on the film and all the difference going on, as well as potentially secret jam sessions that you have to follow me on Insta to find out about.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's great.
I totally understand. This has been a crazy, thank you for doing the festival. Thank you for finding a way to make it happen. I really appreciate that 1,000 Films is going to see a nice wide audience, and I'm grateful for you all finding a way to continue keeping on.
Oh, great. All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks. Good talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Well, we were here with Pandora, and you did the film Cannon Girl. How did you come up with the idea to follow the Cannon Girl around and do this documentary on this?
Well, a friend of mine is friends with her mother, and over coffee one morning, we were just talking about some projects, and she's actually the director for the Fairhope Film Festival, and I'm real involved with that. And she mentioned it to me. The girl is actually from my hometown. So she now lives in New Orleans. She's only 34 years old, and when my friend told me she'd been shot out of a cannon almost 600 times, that really gets your attention.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was an interesting story right away. Just when we were first viewing it.
She went seven G's.
Wow. Well, that's crazy. Yeah. So, and so you went there. Did you do some interviews and got some footage and things like that, or did some research, or?
We went to New Orleans and interviewed her mother, and her sister. We FaceTimed her trainer in Indiana, and then her dad was in South Florida, so we had to FaceTime him. And the song we used, actually, the gentleman is from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, which is not very far from me. So the part that really took the longest was to get in touch with Ringling to get the permission, to use some of the footage that they had. We actually used some footage that was on cell phones, her being shot out of the cannon. It was just kind of a conglomerate of things to put together.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, trying to get it to fit into 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's not easy to do a story or a documentary in 15 minutes.
Not at all. Not at all.
Because you could have.
She's a great girl. And
yeah. Oh, you there?
Go ahead.
Oh, I lost you a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you had a lot more footage, a lot more interviews? You had to shrink it down. Is that what to get it down to like around 15 minutes? Did you have a lot?
I have time. Yes. Oh, yes. I have, I think, 12 USB drives, and just trying to decide what to use. The still photos that we used. It's just so difficult to cram so much in such a short period of time. She's always been the center of attention, and her mother said she's been like that since she was little. So this was not something surprising to the family when, you know, everybody always says, I want to run away and join the circus. Well, she did. And so that was a very interesting story.
Well, yeah. And have you done documentaries like this before this one?
Yes, I'm working on one, and it's rather lengthy. It's going to be a documentary on the plight of AIDS in the state of Alabama. Doing another one that it's a really long story, but the man is from Alabama, robbed a lot of banks, became a drug lord, and now he's a barber in Gulf Shores, Alabama. So that one is going to be lengthy as well. So we've got a lot of characters here, you know. Yeah. But yeah, this one was a really sweet one because, like I said, she is from where I'm from. So grew up, went to high school here, and then went to college in New Orleans, and so you know it was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and she's still doing this? Is she still getting kind of cannons?
Oh no, everybody lost their jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Her trainer was actually on America's Got Talent. He used to he shoots himself out of the cannon, but he sets himself on fire.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, I know it's hard it's been hard for this. That could be a whole other thing, another story there, but about Ringling Brothers and a lot of the circus is closing down, unfortunately. Well,
and you know, part of it for a lot of the circuses, you know, PETA shut them down because of the animals. And you know, you try and run a circus and not have animals. It's, you know, other than Circus Olay, it's rather difficult to come up with the different acts to have.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just remember as a kid, it was such a great experience to go to that, and I you know, I haven't.
Oh,
you know,
definitely. You know, the hot peanuts, the creepy clowns, you know, just the smells of the big top tent.
Yeah, it's such a shame. So, like I have little nieces and nephews now, and you can't really do that. Or like there's variations.
Oh, and they have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
No, they have no idea of the dancing bears, you know, what it was like to see somebody high on the trapeze, and how far back this goes. You know, the first man that really was a cannonball was in Italy. So it goes back quite a way.
Yeah, it's so interesting, but it was such great entertainment, and it's just.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So
it's not something that you hear every day.
No, not at all. That's why, like, you know, a story like that gets you sucked in, and you want to know about it. You know, it really does. It's just a great idea.
I mean, the older we get, everybody kind of loses those memories.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, do you have anything out there that people can see, or a website that you want to promote, or anything you want to promote?
Well, I do have a website. I haven't really put anything on it. It's bohemianlaproductions.com. We haven't put Cannon Girl on anything yet because several of the festivals that chose us, they either went virtual or they're going to postpone till 2021.
Yeah.
And asked, could they go ahead and move it to that? So I hate to put it out there and then everybody sees it and, well, then they don't want to go to the film festival to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. That happens. So that other one that you're doing, are you making a longer short, or are you making a feature out of that other story that you're talking about there? Is it like going to be a feature doc?
Well, which one? The one of the drug lord?
Yeah.
Actually, Netflix wants to get involved and make it, like I guess a mini series, almost like Tiger King.
Yeah.
because his brother taught him to steal at a very young age, and his father was a Pentecostal minister. So, I
Wow.
mean, the whole story is unbelievable. Everything you read, you think, oh my gosh, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
So that one I think is going to be rather lengthy, and it's going to have to, I mean, there's so many stories, it's going to have to almost be either a mini series type, or boy, are you going to have to really cram a lot into 2 hours or an hour and a half.
Yeah. There seems to be a lot of that lately because there's Netflix and Amazon. So there's a lot of these like little mini series things, like you said, like Tiger King and things like that. So
Right.
that might be like a new market
I've
for
actually
kind of stories.
Well, I think for filmmakers, when you're looking at something on Netflix or Hulu or, even the Turner Classic Channel, you can't help but watch them, and then you're critiquing them for the lighting, the sound, how did the actors turn? So, I mean, I know for myself, I do that a lot. I look at the makeup, and I do look at the dead body to see if they're going to breathe. So, in a way, Netflix is really great for that. Yeah, the Fairhope Film Festival that we have here, we normally show 40 films over 4 days, and we're just going to have a drive-in and show 4 films and just do a drive-in. I mean, COVID has really, really hurt the film industry altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're here with Rose Madrone, and you did the documentary Interconnections?
I did.
So how did you come up with the idea of doing this documentary?
Well, it's an interesting journey because at one point I was asked if I could do something to help change the conversation or cultivate the conversation to help maybe make the world a better place, at least in a small way.
Yeah.
Not something like solve world hunger or something, but something that I could actually do. What would that be? And one of the things that came to mind for me was that I feel that we so often ask if what we personally do makes any difference in the world. And I think there's a lot of reasons why we have those questions.
Yeah.
And because I have a background in botany and other plant-related things, I have always felt that if people could understand some of those systems, understand how different people from around the world look at the world in an interconnected way, we would actually realize that what we do makes a difference. So it was kind of this my own ripple effect, where if you took the idea of ripple effects, because our actions indeed create ripple effects, and then if you could see the world in the interconnected way that it really does operate, we would have this formula to realize that indeed our actions do make a difference. And so that felt like something that could help empower people to at least look at their lives with a sense of awe and belonging, but also really a sense of responsibility. Yeah. And so we found these amazing people to interview from different cultures and spiritual traditions, and wove this really interesting story together that we've gotten really great feedback that it actually has empowered people in their way of just looking at the world differently.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like the different perspectives and the different people interviewed and what they say. It's interesting.
Great. Yeah.
So do you usually make documentaries? Is this?
Well, so again, my background was botany and herbal medicine. And then when I got this bee in my bonnet to work on this project, I've become a filmmaker. And I've been doing that for about a decade now. And really our project is called Connectivity Project. And you can look for it online, connectivityproject.com. And we have 3 different episodes that we've created so far. We would love to make more, but that will take some really good funding for us to be able to do that. But we have these other really great episodes that are equally as compelling, and we made them really beautiful so that they would be interesting to people. They're not the standard documentary where sometimes people... it's just so information loaded, and ours definitely is dense with information, but we make them really accessible. And then we've actually created curriculum to go with all of these. Oh, wow. And we're starting to work with schools. And the good thing is that we're very online usable. So,
It's good right now.
I know, it's amazing. So, and our material is so useful for this wacky time we're in with the pandemic and with the racial equality issues. And actually, here on the West Coast, everything is on fire. It is nuts. And that, it's like a little, anyway. So the intention for our work is to have it used in the schools from 5th grade through college, with congregations at film festivals, to be able to cultivate a deeper conversation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, I'm a teacher in a high school, and we just actually, we like to do things like that, especially. So,
excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we should talk about you're using our materials in your school, because that would be really fabulous to do that.
Yeah, it's right now it's a little chaotic right now with everything going on. It's we just started, and the kids start next week, so it's a little nuts at the moment. But we're hoping to get used to it and everything settle in, and then we could actually do some more stuff than being online all the time.
I bet. Well, thank you because being a teacher, that's one of the most important jobs, I think, and I know that you're all pretty challenged about how to do it through this new paradigm. So thank you for holding the space for that to be successful.
And you were talking about botany. We just created in our we had this big outside, and the last couple of years we just built like vegetable gardens and had some, I think, like butterfly things outside there as well, and raising. They have all these kids, all their skills, and it's amazing what they did. And they did the greenhouse. We built a greenhouse. So
fabulous! That's wonderful. I have to tell you that the first editor that was working on our piece about pollination, it's called Plants Have Wings. When she actually was editing our material, she said, "Darn you! Because of all this information, I'm going to have to redo my garden." Because now I understand the importance of native plants and being able to bring more flowers in to feed the pollinators. And, it was a good problem, but it was really interesting to see how it impacted her that way. So I'm glad you guys are working hard on your gardens.
Yeah, it's I don't know how much because of all this, how they kept it up. But I remember when we were at the beginning of last year, they did a really great job with it. And it looks beautiful what they did. It took a couple of years, and now they kept it up, but I don't know what's going on with it right now because I'm focused on other things at the moment.
Well, they're lucky to have an engaged teacher like you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I do TV film, so we've been online and doing some crazy, weird things with this. It's a lot different now. So
great. Well, I'm really honored to be part of your film festival, and I think it's really amazing that you figured out how to do it in the times of this challenging period.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. We were used to live and getting everything done, and then as we were approaching it, everything just shut down. Even the rest of the guys that we do with, everyone's just shut down, and it was kind of a big mess. We're like, oh, we'll do it in September. We'll push it off to September, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And then all of a sudden, September is here.
It's here. It's true, and you're ready, right?
Yeah, so we thought, that we're panicking, we're not going to be ready. But no, we got it. We got all the films, and we're going to be streaming them on the website. And there's 3 streams. You just click on the stream, and they'll come up on StreamYard. You can make it at full screen. You could shrink it, and then you could actually comment on the side. So and we'll have thousands of people watching it instead of 40, 50 in an audience or whatever. So maybe, it's out there so a lot of people can see it.
Well, it's really great that you're figured out how to make it work, because then so much more people can, have access. So again, I'm really honored to be part of your great festival.
And a lot of people also were like, oh, where do you get tickets? How do you get tickets? We're like, no, we were like, forget all that. Just go on our website. It's going to be there. So anyone can watch it. So
that's fabulous.
Yeah, it was just too much, to figure out all that stuff out. We were so busy. We're just like, you know what? We're just going to show everybody. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm excited to see all the films.
Yeah. So you said that you had the same theme in the other ones that you've done too. So
the same theme as far as the ripple effects. Mm-hmm. We talk a lot about that, and we talk a lot about how things are interconnected. And then the other 2 pieces really, they spin off of it where they follow a really interesting character who is doing ripple effects and work that we follow the ripple effects of what they've done and how they make impact. And one of them is called Speaking Out, and we follow an Indigenous high school girl who goes to the legislature in Oregon to talk about poor air quality in North Portland. And we've talked to Lois Gibbs, who is the mother of, like, talk about one person making an impact in the world. Because of her, we have an environmental protection plan. And so we interviewed her and a teacher and the high school student and followed the impact that this made. And it's very inspiring. And then the other one we did is called Plants Have Wings. And we followed a very inspired bicycle enthusiast who in Iowa, who goes to RAGBRAI, which is a bike ride all across the state of Iowa. And over the year, they make these seed balls out of milkweed seeds, which is what monarch butterflies rely on, is milkweed. And she's figured out an engaging, lovely way to have people make a difference while they're riding across the state, and they're lobbing these seed balls from their bikes and at the same time planting food for those amazing essential pollinators, the monarch butterflies. So we follow that. And then we talk about in pollination how pollination at one point was, we were not really a part of that process because pollination, is one of the essential processes in life. But now, given the actions that we make and the chemicals that we use and the way that we cut, do monocropping and stuff, our actions really are so essential that we are now very much a part of the pollination process. And so we're very empowering in it. It's beautiful, and we give great ideas and awareness about how you can support pollinators and be inspired by that. So those are the ones that we have at this point. And again, we have other episodes we'd like to create once we find some really great funding for that.
I love watching these documentaries that we get in here about, like, people you wouldn't even think about, and you're watching it, and just their stories are just amazing on what they do, and just things you wouldn't even think about at all. So
I think that's one of the key things is that sometimes, again, if we wonder if what we do makes any difference, and then you get to watch all these stories of people like in your documentaries where you realize if you're just someone who stands up for what you believe in and you follow what is important to you, you have a cool story. And so I think these things are very inspiring, and the visual storytelling that films is an incredible gift. And the fact that you guys host everybody is really, a key part of it. So good job.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on tonight and giving a few minutes here. And I'm going to try my best now to edit all these real fast and get them up. There's a lot of them. Fabulous.
Well, good luck with that. And let's be in touch later on about curriculum related things.
Yeah. I think we're doing, it was funny because I saw all the emails come across, like, I guess once things settle down, a lot of the curriculums are for next year and upcoming, because they come up every few years. So they're looking for all new curriculums, or like curriculum for this and that. So I saw those jobs. I'm like, oh, I got to jump on one of them.
There you go. Well, I look forward to being in touch with you when your event is over. And thanks again for having our film. I'm really honored.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much for joining me.
You bet. Have fun.